it on the. You want to leave it on that, and then you run that, and then. Hey everyone, welcome back to our exclusive live coverage of the 2018 SIAC Basketball Tournament. I'm Tally Carr, and Charles Ward is taking a little break, doing double duty for his Morehouse broadcast that he normally does throughout the year. So their team is here. So Charles has not left us. He has not left the building. He will soon be back to join us here on the broadcast. But look, we have an exciting game coming up. We have Fort Valley State as the starting lineups are being announced. Jamal Gar, who we chatted with just a couple of days ago on Postgame after his big game and the win over Miles, an 88-82 win. He's starting along with Tyler Edwards. J.R. Bryant getting the start as well. Glenn Holloway will get the start. Coach Sammy Jackson bringing his team into quarterfinal action against the #1 team in the SIAC, the #1 team in the South region in Division II basketball, and one of the top 10 teams in all of Division II basketball, Morehouse College. And they have the player of the year in Tyrius Walker. They have the coach of the year in Grady Brewer. Tony Evans will get the start alongside Tyrius Walker in the backcourt. Now, Morehouse is dealing with some injuries here. Tremel Gooden gets the start. Martravius Little, who was the starting point guard, he was the vocal leader on the team. He played a big role in the defensive efforts of the Maroon Tigers, suffered a severe injury, ACL, MCL, meniscus, during his senior year. Really unfortunate. So his career has come to a close, but he is still a vital part of this team. And what's really been impressive is that his spirits have remained up the entire time. I had a chance to chat with him briefly at a Morehouse Clark game to end the regular season. Told him I was sad about his injury and you know, just how special of a player he's been. And he said, hey, man, it's all part of the Lord's will, and what could I say about that? And I saw him this morning at breakfast, and this kid was making jokes about being out on the court and saying he could spot up it in the corner and he could still contribute to the game if he just had a chance. And just kind of half jokingly he said that. But just to see that his spirits were still in great shape after dealing with a horrific injury during his senior season, which effectively ended his collegiate basketball career. So Fort Valley State gets the tap, and we'll see who gets on the board first. Morehouse playing a little zone here. J.R. Bryant goes to the hole, dishes off. And the shot from the outside is good. That's Tyler Edwards for three. Early lead for the Wildcats. Tony Evans goes strong. He's blocked. Wildcats attacking the other way. Strong to the hole with the bucket. That's Edwards. Morehouse coming right back. Evans rusts the court. And it's now a 5-2 ball game in favor of Fort Valley. This is the first action on the tournament week for the #1 seed out of the East. Fort Valley already with one game under their belt, a 88-82 win over Miles. This three-point shot is long. Morehouse on the break. Walker pulls up. That's his spot, and that's money. Morehouse within one now at 5-4. Gar on Evans, dribbles out, nothing there. He's going to kick it back out to Bryant. Bryant looking for a screen. He's going to pull up, and no good. Rebound to Morehouse. Omar Alston kicks out Jordan Wallace. He's a three-point specialist. That shot a little bit long. Omar with the rebound. Tyrus Walker up top. Finds Alston. This layup is no good. Rebound, Fort Valley. Gar on the attack for the Wildcats. Looking for some room in the lane. A little off-balance shot there, does not go. Morehouse on the break. A little back and forth. Nice fake by Wallace. Dishes off to Alston, back to Wallace. Layup, and Morehouse with their first lead of the game at 6-5. Talked to Coach Brewer at breakfast this morning at the team hotel, and said he just wanted his guys to be sharp. They just made it to Birmingham yesterday. Had a few practices in Atlanta before coming down to the tournament. Bryant short off the front of the rim. Wallace is going to pull it back out. Oh, down low, nice pass. And that's going to be goaltending. Really a good look there by Wallace. Fort Valley on the inbound. And that's out of bounds. This will be Morehouse basketball. Dish off to Alston, off his shin, but Johnny on the spot is Tremel Gooden, and Morehouse now leads it 10-5. Gar looking for room to operate. Back up top to Bryant. Bryant can't find any space. Michael Olmert in the game now. Bryant hard to the hole. And the tip is up and good. That's Glenn Holloway, the 6'9" senior from Douglasville, and previously played at Alabama State, so coming out of the SWAC to the SIAC. Jordan Wallace is going to dribble back out over to Olmert. Olmert, top of the key, looking for a little dribble penetration. Nothing there. Kicks it back out to Wallace, who thought about a three-pointer. The ball slipped out of his hands. Walker bangs it in and out. Doesn't quite fall. Gooden with the rebound. Morehouse with a fresh shot clock. They will reset the offense, and Olmert to Alston to Wallace. Wallace thinks about it, thinks against it. A little three-man weave here, top of the key. Trying to find an opening. Probing. A little ball screen here. Tell you, a guy who doesn't need anything but space and opportunity. That's a long three, misses everything. A little heat check on the range. That NBA stripe is out on the court. We've talked about that throughout the week. Still counts for three no matter where you shoot it from, but that blue line can be quite enticing. Fort Valley couldn't find anything going there, so they're going to have to call a timeout with 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock. We'll keep it right here. Always a great reminder of where you can catch the live exclusive coverage of the 2018 SIAC basketball tournament. We are on Twitter. We are on Fire TV. We are on YouTube, and we are on HBCUGameDay.com as well. So we've been bringing you the live stream all week. Thank you so much for everyone who is watching. A great opportunity for us to engage with you. And we want to know what you think about the game and who you're rooting for and kind of what your thoughts are. Just get on the old Twitter there, and whatever you have to say, lead the hashtag SIAC, and you can tweet to us directly. We are at HBCU Game Day. Morehouse and Fort Valley State, 14:52 remaining in the first half. Morehouse with the lead, 10-7. Fort Valley State had to call a timeout. The offense had become just a little stagnant there on that possession. But if you're a Morehouse fan, I would say you would have to be happy with the way the Maroon Tigers have come out. They hadn't played in a while, of course. You get that bye. A bye is good, but is it rest or is it rust? But so far, things have not been too bad for Morehouse. They actually are leading it here, 10-7. Going to have the substitution in for the Maroon Tigers. Keyshawn Jacobs is in. He's a 5'10 sophomore from Lynn, Massachusetts, and this guy's a shooter. Had a chance to see him action for a couple of games. The injury to Little has given him more opportunity and more minutes, and he can really fill it up from the outside for sure. So back here to live action. Walter Foster hands off to Gara, who takes it strong to the hole, left hand, no good. Rebound goes to Morehouse on the scramble. Tyrus Walker, guarded by Garrar, bringing it up court into the lane. Dishes out to Olbert. There's a whistle on the play, and it's going to be an offensive foul against Tyrus Walker. And that is the first foul for Walker. Tyler Edwards to the bucket. Contest, no good. Olbert got up in the air and had to make a decision. And that was a tough call for him there, and that's going to be a turnover for Morehouse. Edwards bringing the ball up court. Little, wouldn't even call it pressure. Olbert just keeping up with him, looking to match up on the other end. One of the things we talked about Morehouse, what could potentially be a weakness, is a good big man who can exploit that defense and their lack of size. Walter Foster tried it with the jump hook in the lane. He couldn't get that to go. Let's see what the Maroon Tigers do here on offense. Olbert comes off the pick, dishes out to Dubé. Olbert in the lane, left hand, blocked. Fort Valley with the ball now. From the corner, three-pointers, long. Rebound, James Walker. Olbert dishes. Gets it back. Doobie for three, no good. Rebound, Foster. Edwards on the move. Little Euro step, maybe out of control, just a tad bit. That's no good. Left it short on the layup. Morehouse coming back. Team's running gassers right now. And another turnover here, Fort Valley State with the ball. And, yep, half-court violation. Jalen McMillan coming into the game. Olbert in the corner, and it's good. Keyshawn Jacobs. He can fill it up if you give him an opening, and that's exactly what he had there, and he filled it up. Fort Valley State with the ball, trailing 13-7, 12:22 to go. You're watching live coverage of the 2018 SIAC basketball tournament as we get the jump hook by Walter Foster right here on the HBCU Game Day Digital Network. Walker with a long jumper. It's no good. Fort Valley on the move. And we're going to have a call here. We're going to keep it right here. The foul's going to be against Olbert. And that brings us to the under-12 timeout. Morehouse College leading the Fort Valley State Wildcats 13-9. This is quarterfinal action of the SIAC Tournament on HBCU Game Day. We will take a quick break. We'll come right back with more action here from Birmingham, Alabama. And welcome back here to the Birmingham Crossplex, the Bill Harris Arena. Tolly Carr here with you for HBCU game day. I think that was that a attempted lob, and it went in as a three-point shot. That was an alley-oop three-pointer. Whatever it was, it cuts the lead to 13-11. Oh, nice jump hook down low. That was Keith Hurd, young player who they expect a lot out of. Coach Grady Brewer says once he gets used to their system, it may be next year before he's fully acclimated and comfortable in his own skin out there on the court. But, boy, he's going to do big things in the years to come for the Maroon Tigers. Coach Grady Brewer also has a pretty good recruit coming in, his own son. How about that? Signed up his son for a scholarship. That had to be a hard, hard recruiting battle. Old dad getting in on the mix. Xavier Brewer, he's excited about that. A long, lean shooter on the way. Ooh, a hard foul there. Hurd said, nothing easy down the lane here. And Trey Elliott hits the floor pretty hard, but he bounces back up as his team trails on the scoreboard 15-11 with 11 minutes to go. Here in the first half is quarterfinal action from Birmingham. It's the 2018 SIAC Tournament on HBCU Game Day. You are watching on maybe Twitter, maybe you're watching on YouTube, maybe you are watching at hbcugameday.com or on the Fire TV app. If you're watching on the Fire TV app with wholesale substitutions coming in for Morehouse, would love for you to tell a friend that the Fire TV app is the place to be. Make sure you download it. Just go to the Amazon store. It's absolutely free. Leaves it short there on the free throw. And Morehouse with the 15-12 lead. 10:50 remaining here in the first half. Tyrus Walker hasn't quite caught fire yet. But when he does, boy, it comes in bunches and it comes fast. Jordan Wallace down low to Alston. Alston, nothing there. Kicks it back out to Wallace. And shot right at the buzzer. It is short, but offensive rebound to Morehouse. That's Tremel Gooden. He comes up with it, and the Maroon Tigers will try it again. They lead it 15-12, 10:20 to go. Tyrus Walker barking out orders to Alston. And a little body there from Tyler Edwards. I have a big day in store for you. After this game, we got Central State and Benedict not once but twice. The women play at 5:30 Central Time. The men with our nightcap at 7:45 Central Time. So if you see Central State versus Benedict 2 times in a row, it's not a misprint. Men's and women's action. I think that song says 3 times in a row. Is that what it says, Toby? I just did a little ad-lib 2 times in a row. Who sings that? Little Yachty Uzi B? No? You don't know either. You're getting old like me, Toby. Fort Valley State. Oh, it's better when I don't know. Don't find out. Then it'll give the impression that I'm cool. The bit's much funnier when I have no idea what I'm talking about. It's not like I'm about to go download it. 17-12 is your score in favor of Morehouse, who leads at 9 with 9:41 remaining here in the first half. Ryder doesn't like what O'Brien doesn't like what he sees. Waves off that play, going down low in the paint, off glass, no good. Morehouse with the rebound. Wallace out to Walker. Alston, free throw line. Oh, he wide right, hit nothing but the backboard. And a charging foul. Tyler Edwards. That was Tremel Gooden who got in position there. Morehouse on the afternoon thus far shooting 42%, but Fort Valley, man, they've barely scratched the surface. They're 5 of 18 from the field, 27% so far in this game. That number should come up, but it's not reflected too poorly of them on the scoreboard. They only trail it by 5, 17-12 with 9 minutes to go until halftime. Wallace, that's his spot right there. He gets that to go, and that's what he does. He is a shooter. Saw Jordan at breakfast this morning. He had a double dose of his fruit. So he's packed with vitamin C out there on the court. I can testify to that. I made a move for a biscuit. He picked up grapes and melons and all that good stuff. I need sustenance for 4 straight games, Toby. I have to get some carbs. So Morehouse leading 20-12, 8:54 remaining here. Some pressure here. And we're going to have a timeout here. And that was Tony Evans really hustling out there. He dove on the ball. He was afraid that things were going to get tied up, so he just went ahead and called the timeout. But Fort Valley a little leisurely there on that possession, but Morehouse more aggressive there, and they come up with the ball. They not wasted timeout, but they burned one. But it's enough for them to maintain possession. Quick time to remind you here to share your game day experience with us. Tweet us whatever is on your mind, your photos, your thoughts, your predictions, your angst, your anxiety, your joy. Use the hashtag SIAC. And Toby Durham has told me that if he likes your tweets, he's going to put them on the air. So use the hashtag SIAC. We'll be scouring Twitter, looking to see what you're talking about. And if you do it right, we'll let everybody know that you're a good follow out there on Twitter. Coming up at halftime, we'll take you back in the SIAC vault. I think I have some Morehouse memories. Football, Toby, you want to give them some football memories? We have spring football coming up soon. I think we have some Morehouse memories from this past football season that we'll bring up for you. I can't remember if those are pleasant memories or one to grow on. Morehouse had some wins. They had some tough losses there this year on football season as well, but always exciting. Kevon Taylor at quarterback for Morehouse this past season, one of the biggest basketball. Oh, Omar Alston went hard in the paint. Ooh, the lefty, he cocked that one back, and he meant all business. He drew the foul. He might have paid a little price with the fall to the ground, but woo, I would not have wanted to be on the business end of that slam dunk right there. But he drew the foul. He didn't get 2, but he'll have a chance to get those 2 at the line. So with that, we're going to have the dead ball media timeout. We'll take a pause, and we'll be right back.
On the field, behind the basket, in the press box, bringing you HBCU sports like you've never seen it before. Anyone who has ever been to a sporting event at an HBCU knows that it is just that, an event. The band, the cheerleaders, it's a complete show. The game day experience at HBCUs is truly unique. No media outlet does a better job at capturing that experience than HBCU Game Day.
From there, it was just an instant classic. It was a great basketball game.
Follow us online at hbcugameday.com, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also find us on Fire TV, Roku, and YouTube. Just do a keyword search, HBCU Game Day. We are leading the conversation on sports culture at HBCUs. We are HBCU Game Day.
Welcome back to Birmingham. This is Tolly Carr, and you are watching HBCU Game Day, and this is quarterfinal action with Morehouse and Fort Valley State. Omar Alston at the line. Boy, if you missed it right before the break, he went to the hole with ill intent. He was fouled. That would have been the dunk of the week if he would have got that poster dunk to go. But did miss, but missed the first free throw. Hits the second. So Morehouse now with some full court pressure. Oh, they get the turnover off there. Oh, look at that. Off the inbound, Tramel Gooden swiped it away and laid it up in the same motion. Now Morehouse up 23-12. Fort Valley State having to deal with the full court pressure. Almost another turnover there. Tony Evans got his hand in there, but he also got a little arm on the ball. Boy, this is so prophetic. I was talking about great memories, and I was talking to Grady Brewer at breakfast this morning about Winston-Salem State back in the day, how their defense, full court pressure was so good. It was almost their best offense at times in the early 2000s. He said, I like that. I like my guys to be like that too. And boy, they just put that pressure on defensively and turned it to some offense right there. So it wasn't wishful thinking. He's getting it done as well. Grady Brewer was very complimentary of the coverage this year. He said this is the best coverage he's seen around the SIAC media-wise since he's been a part of it. He's been a part of it a long time. He's played at Morehouse. He was an assistant coach for a long time. Omar Alston with the two-hand flush there. And he's been the head coach for a while. And look over there, Morehouse has a little contingent. I see some people in the house in the maroon. Fort Valley State gets it across half court, but boy, it took some energy. Let's see if they can keep it close here. Morehouse trying to pull away a little bit. Jump hook in the lane is too strong. Tony Evans there on the rebound. Tramel Gooden in the corner to Wallace. Heat check. Nobody under there to rebound. So that's all right, fellas. I think I can make it drop. A little short that time. Omar Austin swipes at the ball. He gets the ball and knocks it off the leg of Dexter Williams, I think, and it goes out of bounds to Morehouse. So Morehouse leading 25-12, 6:40 remaining in the first half. Or actually, it's going to be Fort Valley ball. I thought it possession went over to Morehouse, but Fort Valley State's going to keep it, and that's J.R. Bryant on the inbound. Goes into Jalen McMillan. McMillan with those famed seafoam blue Nikes. Misses on the three-pointer. Tyrius Walker slowly bringing the ball up court, facing the Fort Valley defense. They pick up in a man-to-man. Top of the key to Evans, over to Walker. Walker goes baseline, pulls up, has his shot blocked by Guerra. Jamal Guerra can really get up, the 6'2" senior out of Conyers, Georgia. Well, Fort Valley, don't be mad. I promised you that shooting percentage was going to go up. But so far, still in the 20s, right at 25%. They are 5 for 20 on the afternoon. Tyrius Walker gets the baseline jumper there. Morehouse now leads 27-12. And a foul on Morehouse. I think that goes against Evans, and that's going to be the second on Tony Evans. He's going to go to the bench as he picked up the reach-in foul. Tyler Edwards taking the ball out of bounds. Fort Valley State, what will they do here with under 6 to go in the first half? Three-point shot is just a wee bit long. Omar Alston comes down with the rebound. Tyrius Walker, he's just 2 for 4 with 4 points so far. With a balanced effort by Morehouse. Alston drives, kicks out, but that ball is deflected by Walter Foster. So Morehouse will retain possession. 5:29 to go. Tally Carr here with you this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in here on HBCU Game Day. bringing you the action from the 2018 SIAC Basketball Tournament from Birmingham, Alabama in the Bill Harris Arena. Quarterfinal action here. Fort Valley State had a win earlier on opening day. They defeated Miles by 6 points, but things not looking as close early on here against the #1 seed out of the East, the Maroon Tigers. Michael Olmert got caught with his hand in the cookie jar there, playing defense from behind. That often works against you, but Olmert has really stepped up his game as well, helping fill in the minutes and the role left by the injury to Martravius Little. A great guard at dribble penetration, finding the assist. He's one of those guys that will just probe and probe and probe and find a weakness and exploit it, maybe for himself or for one of his teammates.
Sorry, Tully, but Omer, he was real big in the win over Benedict back on February 3rd. Real huge, came in real.
Yep, he drove. Remember him driving. He has that dribble where he gets into the lane from the right side and finishes on the opposite side with the left hand, one of his patented moves, and had that close game down at Benedict, and he came up strong.
I just want to let the crowd know we miss Charles.
Somebody miss Charles? My word count is up, man. What's all this talking I'm doing? Keyshawn Jacobs, he's tied up. Tyrese Walker, the SIAC Player of the Year. Oh, but Doobie along the baseline there. He's going to pick up the offensive foul. That's going to kick it back to Fort Valley State. They trail almost by 2 touchdowns on the board. It's a 27-14 game. Morehouse with the lead. Tyrese Walker working the refs over there. The refs not hearing them right now. And a travel down low is Tyler Edwards. He's a 6'2" junior guard. Tried to work out of the post that time, but a shuffle of the feet. I think Morehouse now has the biggest contingent that we have seen all evening for one team, or all week close to it. A lot of maroon over there. Miles had some fans earlier on. Of course, they're from nearby Fairfield, Alabama. But Atlanta, not too far of a drive. Up 2.5 hours, depending on how you drive, what time you leave. Traffic becomes an issue. Walker, no good. Fight for the rebound. Goes to Doobie, and he is fouled by Jamal Guerra. So that's the second on Guerra. He's a very important part of the Fort Valley offense and defensive side. He's a guy that they lean on, a 6'2" senior. Remember talking to him in postgame a couple of days ago. He said the team depends on him to go, go, go. He's the motor of that team. He realizes that, has that self-awareness. Tyrese Walker, top of the key. NBA range is long. Oh, bodies everywhere. The boys in blue fall down. And that foul goes against Cario Whitfield. And boy, you see what happens. That big fella, you bump into him, 2 or 3 people will take a loss. So we are at the under 4 media timeout. Morehouse in the lead over Fort Valley, 27-14. You're listening to coverage and watching coverage of the 2018 SIAC Basketball Tournament on HBCU Game Day. here, the SIAC basketball tournament in Birmingham at the free throw line. Walter Foster for Fort Valley State. And hits the first, second is no good. Morehouse up 27-15. Coming up at halftime, we're going to take you back into the HBCU Game Day Vault. We're going to do a little battle of the bands from a couple of years ago, a battle royale we called it. We had Miles and Morehouse. They in the stands jamming. We'll let you enjoy that. You be the judge. Let us know on Twitter who did the best. That is from about 2 years ago, I think. It will relive the Morehouse Tuskegee game last year. There might be a sore spot for some Morehouse fans, but it was a good game. It was a good game. So we'll take you inside the vault at halftime. That's the time I go get a hot dog, in case you were wondering. Morehouse up 27-16 here with the ball. 3:38 on the clock before we get to halftime. A couple of bad passes by Morehouse there. One was just behind Tramel Gooden. He hauled it in, but then the next pass gets deflected by Fort Valley. So 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Austin. And we're going to have a foul here. Whitfield had the ball. He had to go. The shot clock was winding down. He was fouled. He'll go to the line. He's going to get 2 here from the charity strike for Whitfield. First shot is long. We'll get one more shot with 3:28 to go before halftime. Morehouse really ahead. 37-16. But Omar Austin with the rebound. Tyus Walker gets it, and he misses the 3. Walker has yet to heat up, but so far they have not needed him to be Superman yet in this ball game. This 3-pointer is good by J.R. Bryant. 27-19 ball game now. Cross-court pass to Gooden. Oh. Steal by Fort Valley. Jamal Garrett gets it. Runs down court. Floats up and finishes with the left hand. And what was woulda, shoulda, could have been a 10-point lead. Now down to 6. That Morehouse crowd is not quiet there. They had some energy earlier. Another turnover here, trying to beat Alston in the post. Whitfield with the bad pass. He goes up strong, but the dish off to Walter Foster right after Whitfield had jumped in. Fort Valley State has pulled to within 4 here. 2:31 to go. 27-23 Morehouse. How did Fort Valley do this? They were talking about that 25% field goal percentage. So 2:31 to go. Fort Valley has went on a little surge here. 2 quick buckets. And Coach Brewer says, hey guys, let's get it together. Another near turn. Yes, it will be. 3 turnovers in a row here. Glenn Holloway putting pressure on the ball. Knocks it off James Walker, and Fort Valley can pull to within 2. Field goal percentage up to 33% now. Garrett goes baseline, and looks like there's an offensive foul away from the ball. Walter Foster has the guilty look on his face, and the call goes against him. And Coach Jackson has found the secret sauce to get his team back into it here. Still down, though, down by 4, under 2 to go before halftime. Tally card here on HBCU game day, and an offensive foul against Morehouse. It has been turnover, 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 turnover. So going to set a pick that time was Keyshawn Jacobs, and he didn't get set. He was in motion. That is an illegal screen. And the ball goes back to Fort Valley. We talked about chalk, chalk, chalk. Where would we see an upset? None would be greater if Morehouse was to go out in the quarterfinals. Not suggesting that will happen. Guerra with a little Vince Carter-esque 180. But so far the Wildcats are keeping it close and keeping it entertaining, and Morehouse just falling off a little bit here in the last few possessions. Making up for that illegal screen from a couple of plays ago, Keyshawn Jacobs pulls up his second three-pointer. That pushes the lead back up to 7. McMillan kicks it over to Bryant. Guerra, top of the key. To Edwards. Foster, baseline, over to Guerra, through his hands. Back to McMillan. Down low, Guerra floats it up, in and good. 30-25, under a minute to go before the half. Walker to Austin, to Wallace. Jacobs for 3, no good. Rebound by Guerra. Fort Valley down by 5. McMillan down low. Foster could have jammed it. He said, today you get a finger roll. Now a 3-point game. Morehouse will hold it for the last shot. Doesn't get much better than this here. Guerra going one-on-one defensively with Tyrius Walker. I would be not be surprised if he gets a pull-up jumper from the left elbow. That's what I'm calling. Oh, no, he kicks it out. Oh, the 3 at the buzzer is no good by Jacobs. So your score at the half, Morehouse holding on despite some poor play in the second part of the first half. They started out pretty good, but then they just went into turnover city. They lead it 30-27. We're coming up on halftime, and Fort Valley State hanging in there. We're going to take a deep dive into the video vault, have a little battle royale amongst the bands, and then we're going to relive some football as that spring fever of spring football is about to kick in, and we'll take a look back at how it all went down this past season between Morehouse and Tuskegee. We'll give you some football and band and come back with more basketball on the other side. You're watching HBCU Game Day.
The 82nd Annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic, and man, both teams want to dish out a spanking in this one. First series, Tuskegee with some problems. High snap to Jamarcus Ezel, Morehouse all over it. One play later, pitch and catch to Ricky Knuckles, who finds Tamarick Vanover Jr. for the easy-peasy score. 7-zip Morehouse. That Maroon Tiger D-line was getting at them boys early in the game. But Tuskegee settles down. Second quarter, Ezel finds Stephen Hodges for a first down pickup, and Hodrick Lowe finishes off that bit of business, and we are tied at 7. Morehouse back on the move. Kevon Taylor to Vanover for a first down here, and that drive would end with the field goal, so we are at 10-7 Morehouse. Just before the half, Maroon Tigers moving again. Taylor to Ryan Edwards. He's 6'3", 250, but some nimble feet there for the first down. Then it's Taylor right down the middle of the field to Santo Dunn. First and goal, and Taylor does the rest on his own. 17-7 Morehouse at the half. Let's go to the fourth quarter. Ezel, I do what I want, you do what you can. He's going to pick up 52 yards on this one. He's ruled out at the 15-yard line. Not done. Ezel calling his own number again, down to the 1. And Phillip Brown finishes the drive off. So now let's reset. Morehouse 17, Tuskegee 14. Just under 10 minutes remaining. And yes, stranger danger is real. Good job, young man. Let's pick it back up. 2:46 left in the game. Tuskegee thinking about a go-ahead score. Cameron Miller, he's thinking about an interception. And he gets it. Morehouse, if they just pick up a first down, this game is over. Only problem, they didn't do it. Tuskegee would get one more crack at it. Just over a minute to go, time not on their side, but no one told that to Ezel. He throws a 50-50 ball up to Shardy and Johnson, and he gets 100% of it. With seconds left, Dalton Hall in chip shot territory. That's easy for him, and we are going to overtime. Morehouse gets the ball first, and look at Jonah McCutcheon make it do what it do. Another big interception for him. Now Tuskegee is in full control. Or as Chris Tucker says, control. Hey, score and you win. Phillip Brown, his longest run of the night came at the right time. 21 yards down to the 1-yard line, and Ezel finishes it off. What a come-from-behind win. Tuskegee was down, nearly out, but they pull out the 23-17 overtime win over Morehouse.
Well, we scored the last part when we needed to. It was a tough game for us. Morehouse really was really a tough opponent. They were really prepared for the game. I think our kids kept fighting, though. They never quit. And as a result, they were able to win the game.
Well, that drive, before I left off the field, I know Coach Kirby, he said just be smart and be confident. And he told me as soon as I walked on the field, he said, hey, you got this. So we ran the play. I looked downfield, and I seen Chardon. And on the sideline, the drive before, he said, hey, man, hey, just throw it up. And when I threw it up, he went and called it. Hey, the rest is history.
Quincy January, senior from St. Augustine's University, power forward, sport management major from Mobile, Georgia.
Christian Kirchman, I'm point guard here at Smith, and I'm from Roanoke, Virginia.
Robert Davis, shooting guard here at Johnson C. Smith University. I'm from West Friendship, Maryland.
I'm Neil Bellfield. I was born and raised in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. And I'm here shooting guard, senior at Livingstone.
We real competitive, man.
Yeah. Competing with each other,
yeah. One-on-one shooting games.
You can't beat me in nothing.
Yeah. Don't let them fool you out here, man.
One thing that I'm for sure going to say is that we want to see us win a championship. That's my main focus. So that's the one thing that I can always carry over with me because they can't take that away from you.
Everything you try to hide behind during the season, it comes out at the tournament. So if you're a dog, you can be a dog. If you pretend to be a dog, you can show up the biggest cat in that arena. So I'm ready to see what them dogs are.
On the field, behind the basket, in the press box, bringing you HBCU sports like you've never seen it before. Anyone who has ever been to a sporting event at an HBCU knows that it is just that, an event. The band, the cheerleaders, it's a complete show. The game day experience at HBCUs is truly unique. No media outlet does a better job at capturing that experience than HBCU Game Day.
From there, it was just an instant classic. It was a great basketball game.
Follow us online at hbcugameday.com, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also find us on Fire TV, Roku, and YouTube. Just do a keyword search, HBCU Game Day. We are leading the conversation on sports culture at HBCUs. We are HBCU Game Day.
Welcome back to courtside here at the SIAC Basketball Tournament. Tolly Carr, HBCU Game Day. Our live coverage all week long. Your score at halftime, Morehouse leading Fort Valley State 30-27. Hope you enjoyed the deep dive back into the HBCU Game Day vault. Morehouse and the House of Funk had a little showdown with, oh yeah, those purple people from down there at Miles College, purple marching machine. And that Morehouse Tuskegee football game that we revisited. I told you it was a great game, but ooh, it left a bad taste in your mouth if you were Morehouse because, oh, you had it. You were right there. But entertainment quality, it was a good one. Hey, entertainment quality of this basketball game has been a good one. Fort Valley State was on the verge of going down by 10 points, and all of a sudden they just woke up and actually shot 37% in the first half, which is pretty good, seeing that they were hovering in the 20s for a great deal of that first half. Morehouse College shot 39%. Jamal Garrett with 5 points and Edwards with 7 for Fort Valley State. Morehouse had a bunch of guys with 4. And then Omar Alston had 8 points to lead the Maroon Tigers. So here we go, second half. Morehouse is playing with house money. They would love to win the SIAC tournament, but should they not, their season will continue in Division II hoops. Beyond this, Tyrus Walker with the putback there. Fort Valley State, to extend their season, they need to win every game, every game. They cannot afford any losses. The next loss they suffer will be the last of their season. So Morehouse now up by 5 on the move. Olmert and Tyrus Walker get the start in the backcourt in the second half, joined by Omar Alston in the front court, Tony Evans. And Jordan here with the jumper. He gets it to go. Jordan Wallace. Jamal Garrett guarded closely by Evans. He's going to go all the way to the hole. He gets it to go. And the foul. Tyrus Walker laying on the floor in disbelief. It's like, that was a foul, really? Really? If so, that was on the floor, right? No, a little continuation. And you see Garrett at the line right there. He's on our ISO cam underneath the basket. Shot is up and it is no good. And bounces out. So he does not finish the and one. Olmert. Dribble drive looking to go back door, but Alston at the left elbow sets a pick. Olmert along the baseline to Walker. Stop and pop and a charge. Both officials looked at each other like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And they decided on the charge, and that is foul number 3 on the SIAC Player of the Year, Tyrus Walker. He's the leading scorer in the conference. He's the leading scorer on their team. Obviously, he is the heart and soul. He now goes to the bench early in the second half with his 3rd foul. His teammates up 34-29 over a streaking Fort Valley State team. Morehouse with the 3/4 court pressure. And Fort Valley State turns it over. Morehouse with numbers. Jordan Wallace finishes on the layup. Fort Valley State's going to beat the pressure this time by quickly bringing the ball up court. J.R. Bryant gets a ball screen from McMillan. Jamal Garrett goes down, misses. As he attacked the basket from the left side. Michael Olmert to Wallace. Pump fake, head and shoulders to Evans. He goes up, he has the ball stripped. Out of bounds to Fort Valley. Jalen McMillan taking the ball out. Jamal Garrett and Tony Evans. Tony Evans said, y'all are losing. I love it when I read lips when they're trash talking. Fort Valley State. Foul on the play there. That's going to go against Tramel Gooden as Tyler Edwards was attacking the basket. So Edwards is going to get 2 cracks at it. He can potentially make this a 5-point ball game here, depending on what he does at the free throw line. First one is good. As you watch this quarterfinal action here on HBCU Game Day, we are at the Birmingham Crossplex, Birmingham, Alabama. It is the Bill Harris Arena. Hope to see you in Birmingham if you can make it. If you can't make it, let us know what you're doing on Twitter. Use the hashtag SIAC. Let us know your thoughts about the game, the tournament, who you're pulling for. If you're watching the broadcast, if you're enjoying it, just let us know. We're live streaming on Twitter and Periscope right now. Use the hashtag SIAC. Jordan Wallace is filling the role of the benched Tyrus Walker, and Walker on the bench with those 3 fouls. Jordan Wallace becoming aggressive here offensively. He's a senior. No time to wait. High arcing 3-pointer. is good for Fort Valley. Bryant gets it to go, and it's now a 38-34 ball game in favor of Morehouse. Alston up high to Wallace. Ulmer. And in the corner, Wallace gets it to go. He's feeling it. His last 3 shots have all been money. Jamal Guerra looking to feed the post. Instead, it's a turnover. Ulmer's going to reset the offense. Drives. Wallace. Oh, Wallace doesn't get it to go. Goes out of bounds, and Wallace had a case for maybe a foul there. Guerra's going to bring the ball up here. Fort Valley trailing 41-34, 16-30 remaining in the second half now. Tyler Edwards feeds Foster down low. Foster intentional with the hook. Doesn't get it to go, out of bounds. No one touched it, and it's going to be Morehouse basketball. In the corner, Wallace, no good. So it's going to be Morehouse basketball. The official is telling everybody, I'm in charge here. Uh-oh. I think we had a disagreement between officials. Did I see that? Did one official tell the other official you were wrong? Did I see that? Did I read those lips correctly? Very interesting. Interesting indeed. Look at Jordan Wallace here. Take a little quick flashback from the corner. Contested, nothing but net. Jordan Wallace is a guy that, look, if you don't guard him, it's going to be trouble. He has a silky smooth release, quick release as well, and he has really stepped up in the absence of Tyrus Walker here in the second half, who had to go to the bench early, picking up his 3rd foul less than 2 minutes into the second half. And Wallace now with 16 points on 7 of 11 shooting. He's 2 for 5 from behind the arc. And Tyrus Walker, although he's on the bench, he is still the top dog in the SIAC. On Sunday night, the conference announced him as the SIAC Player of the Year. If you've never had a chance to see him play, let me tell you this about him. He's a guy who knows how to get to his spot. He's really not worried about what you do defensively. He just looks for you to give him a little bit of an opportunity. He knows what he's looking for, and he pulls up and hits that jumper. Then you try to guard him close, and then it just takes you back door. And that's why he's put up big buckets and rewarded as the Player of the Year in the SIAC. Back to live action here. Evans over to Omar Alston. Jump stop to the hole, and we have a blocking call here as Tremel Gooden took it to the bucket. They're going to say that was before the shot. Checking in for the Maroon Tigers, Keyshawn Jacobs. Wallace thought about a 3, dishes it to Evans instead, who lays it up. He's quick off the ground, and he knows how to finish it. Quick leaper. Fort Valley State down in the post. Foster with the spin move on Evans. Gets down beneath the basket. Up and good. Walter Foster, 6'8" senior from Atlanta. Started out at Towson. Jordan Wallace with the three. He now has 19 on the afternoon for Morehouse. And McMillan answers on the other end with the long three as well. Down low, Tony Evans spins to Alston. Alston, and from the corner we have another three-pointer. This time Keyshawn Jacobs. Morehouse now up by 10, doing all of this with the player of the year on the bench, and we have an offensive foul. Walter Foster had the height and the size advantage as he posted up Michael Omert, but he got called for the offensive foul. It's coming back the other way. Morehouse basketball, they're up 10, 14:27 to go. Omert up top to Alston, to Wallace. Back to Alston, back out to Evans. Corner, Jacobs, and it's good. Keyshawn Jacobs, he's the 5'10" sophomore, and he's filling up the stat sheet here. He's got 9 points. 3 for 5 on three-point shots. And a foul before the shot. Walter Foster had position on Evans. And how well can he hit it from the outside? Talking about Keyshawn Jacobs. Take another look here. He was set up in that coffin corner, and bam, there it is. He's done that 3 times in this game so far. Foster with the left-hand finish. That pulls Fort Valley to within 11. It's 52-41, 13:42 to go here in the second half. Quarterfinal action from Birmingham. Morehouse versus Fort Valley State, and offensive foul here. I think it's going to go against Alston. Omar. Fort Valley now down 11, trying to cut it back single digits. And 1. Tyler Edwards had the position, finished with the left-hand layup, and he was fouled. So that's going to make it 52-43. Chance for a free throw here. Could make it 52-44. Take a look here. Foster finds him with people draped over his shoulders there, bringing him down to the ground. Tyler Edwards able to finish. Oh, did they not? Are they saying that was before the shot? Oh, man. Was that too much of a stretch to say continuation? Come on. Oh, come on. I thought that was 2 and a free throw. Okay. They've got an opening for a ball boy. Look at the refs having to do the work there. They down there sweeping up the floor. Hey, bring your kids. They can come down here and help out a little bit. Get a job. They go right back to it again. Foster finding Edwards. Edwards was mugged that time, but not fouled, according to the officials. So there's more. Got the derriere cam going here. More moisture on the floor. They're gonna wipe up. A little sweat equity on the floor. So here's where we are. Let's kind of reset for you. Morehouse leads it 52-41, 13-13 remaining in the game. Quarterfinal action. Fort Valley is playing for their season. Morehouse playing for a championship, but either way, their season won't end no matter what happens here this weekend. Or week into the weekend. Getting a little ahead of myself. We haven't even, what is it, Wednesday? Is this hump day today? Michael Olmert goes to the hole, misses, he's fouled. And Foster's like, really? That foul's gonna go against Tyler Edwards, his third. So Olmert gets 2 shots. First shot is good. Coach Grady Brewer on his feet along the sidelines. He's the SIAC Coach of the Year. Talking to some of his coaches and players there. His team enjoying a 54-41 lead with 12:52 to go in this one. This is just the second of 4 games today on your quarterfinal Wednesday here at the SIAC Tournament. We have a doubleheader of Central State and Benedict coming up after this one. Women followed by the men. Foster, grown man there down in the paint. That's how you do when your kids get too fast to play. That's what you do to them in the backyard. Just grown man move. Little elbows, a little behind on them. Tell them to get out of the way. Olmert, that's that move. He'll go from the right side of the lane and finish on the left side of the basket. He's got that down pat. Shot up, no good, but a foul here. Morehouse. We'll take a look at Olmert in action. He's going to set you up. Oh, he saw Guerra kind of lose his balance there, and he found that opening from the right to the left, and that's his money shot. Wow, Tyrus Walker has not come back into this game. Haven't needed him so far. He picked up that third foul just a little bit in front of the 18-minute mark. So the last 6 minutes, there's been no Walker, but Morehouse has been able to push their lead up to double digits. So some rest for the SIAC Player of the Year here. Jacobs, he's had success from behind the arc now with the little dribble. Not as much there. I think his specialty might be shooting as he turns the ball over and fight for the rebound. And Morehouse has numbers. James Walker. He had Doobie on the right-hand side. Decided against it. He put his head down and went to the bucket. So it's the under-12 dead ball media timeout. Morehouse leading Fort Valley State 56-45. This is quarterfinal action from the SIAC Tournament, and you are watching HBCU Game Day. Welcome back to the Bill Harris Arena here in Birmingham, Alabama at the Crossplex Complex. I'm Tolly Carr. This is HBCU Game Day. You are where you are. Thank you for being there. Fort Valley State on the rebound. The missed jump shot by Keith Hurd, sophomore from Atlanta, 6'9". Pretty good shooter. Not able to get it to go that time. Foster down in the paint. Spins on Hurd. Draws the foul. Almost got the bucket to go. Teammates pick him up there. You see the action up and close, what it's like down in the paint. Serious business down there. Not for the weak of hearts. The slow of foot. So I disqualified myself on 2 separate occasions there. First free throw by Foster is no good. Told you Foster got his start collegiately at Towson University. He's from Atlanta, so not too far from home down in Fort Valley, just a couple hours down to the valley. Second free throw is good. It's now a 10-point game. Foster with 16 points, leading Fort Valley State in scoring. Jordan Wallace leads the Maroon Tigers with 19. Wallace has the ball now over to Austin. Gets the jumper to go just inside the free throw line. Nice touch there. Morehouse up 58-46. Wildcats coming back. Looks off Foster in the post. Now hits him from the right elbow. That jumper is no good. Fight for the rebound is going to be, we don't know. So they call jump ball. Possession arrow favoring Fort Valley State. James Walker there in front of your screen. And jump hook is up and good. Glenn Holloway. He did it the Holloway. He's another transfer here for Fort Valley. He started out at Alabama State. He's from Douglasville, Alabama. So there's Douglasville, Georgia. There's Douglasville, Alabama. Doobie misfires on the 3, and Foster comes up with the rebound. Nice little hesitation, dish off to Foster, and traveling. Couldn't quite gather himself, but J.R. Bryant did a good job to freeze his defender and then blow by, and a little handoff to Foster, but Foster couldn't get the footwork quite right on that one. 10-point lead, Morehouse up. And back in the game, Tyrius Walker had those 3 early fouls in this one. Now with under 10 to go, he's just going to have to watch himself on the defensive end. Although one of those fouls he picked up was an offensive foul. Jordan Wallace, he gets a attaboy. Coach Brewers, he drills that 3 deep in the corner. Wallace now with 21 points. Might have had a foot on the line, I guess, for that one. Now 60-48. Triple handoff, little 3-man weave. Wallace thought about it, top of the key. Over to Olmert, feeds Austin down in the post. This guy can shoot it here, James Walker. No good, though. Jamal Guerra, he kicks it out to Bryant. Back to Guerra. Behind the back, in the lane, hangs up there. Bit of a wild shot. Walker with the rebound. Walker to Walker. And somebody over there was out of bounds. It might have been Michael Olmert. Coach Brewer telling everyone, calm down. He's got that my shoes are too small look. My feet hurt look on his face. All coaches just give you that angst and disgust when those plays, just the simple stuff, that's what really gets under a coach's skin. Morehouse up 60-48, but boy, he's had a lot to smile about this season as Fort Valley cuts the lead down to 10 now. His team has just been on fire, only one loss all season long. A tough one to Claflin on the road. Tyrus Walker goes back door. Nice pass from Alston. He gets the layup. Walker now with 6 points and a turnover here. Morehouse coming back the other way. Olmert, he's a one-man fast break, 1 on 3. He was the one, and he gets the layup. Morehouse starting to stretch out a little bit. Wow, that shot might have been a little misguided. No one there under the basket to rebound, but Trey Elliott says, they call me Trey for a reason. He pulled up for that Trey. But an easy rebound opportunity for Morehouse. Alston down on the block, can't hold on to it. It's going to go back to Fort Valley State. So the under 8 timeout is here. Morehouse leads Fort Valley State 64-50. We'll take a break from Birmingham. You are watching HBCU Game Day. Welcome back from the timeout here in Birmingham, where they were wiping me down during the timeout. Is that what they were doing? They were not wiping me down. That was the song. They were wiping someone down. Nice layup there. Tyler Edwards strong with the left hand, cuts that Morehouse lead down to 12. Tyrus Walker against Jamal Guerra here. Walker picks up his dribble. Goes to Alston. Alston down the lane, throws it out, but turns it over. Jalen McMillan coming back the other way. Off glass, down the lane. He gets it to go. It's now back to a 10-point lead. Morehouse has looked well in spurts, and then they've gotten a little sloppy in spurts as well. In the corner to Tyrus Walker. Walker looking for James Walker on the post. James Walker doesn't go, but he's fouled. Had a nice little shakedown on the box. And that's going to be the third personal on Jalen McMillan, who still has the award for the cleanest shoes here at the SIAC tournament. Those Seafoam Nikes or something else, man. They'll see you coming a mile away in that. So James Walker good on the first free throw. That pushes the lead up to 65-54. One more to go here for Walker, who was fouled in the act of shooting down there on the post. Second free throw is good. Morehouse up 66-54. Edwards, top of the key, crossover, pull up, dribble from the right elbow is no good. Fight for the rebound goes to James Walker. Michael Olmert now with the ball, bringing it up court against Edwards. 6:31 to go, a 66-54 game. Tyrus Walker to James Walker. thought about a shot, then thought about a pass to Omar Alston, who was thinking about boxing out, and it goes out of bounds. Fort Valley with the ball. McMillan with a contested three, and that's good. Jordan Wallace had a hand in his face, but it did not matter because McMillan was able to drill it. And another mini run here by Fort Valley as they're pulling within 9. It's now 66-57. Morehouse with the lead, but they can't put Fort Valley away. They put a little bit of distance. They make it a 10-point lead, 12-point lead, but then Fort Valley comes scrapping back. So with 6:01 to go, Morehouse in the lead, 66-57. I'd like to take this moment to remind you that the Home Depot's Retool Your School Campus Improvement Grant Program is back with $360,000 up for grabs for 9 lucky HBCUs. Will your school be a winner? Well, you can learn more at retoolyourskool.com. Good afternoon to everyone following us and watching the game on YouTube. Got some people commenting there. Preston Bailey, Reagan Green, Lakevius Adams, thanks for chiming in. Stephen J. Gaither, our HBCU Game Day brethren, is chatting up on the game as well. Hey, this is not the only game. Earlier today, Clark Atlanta with the victory over Miles. So they advanced from the quarterfinals in the women's division. Morehouse and Fort Valley right now. Central State and Benedict in a doubleheader later on. Let's take a look at the women's bracket there. Clark Atlanta, #1 seed out of the East, got the win over Miles. And we'll have more action coming up, talking about Central State and Benedict. And winner of that will advance to Friday. Albany State lays in wait on Thursday for their game as well. We'll take a look at those brackets throughout the afternoon as we have plenty of more coverage coming to you here on HBCU Game Day. 5:50 to go is 66-57. Morehouse with the lead. Michael Olmert in the corner. Gets the screen from Walker in the lane, probing, looking for something. He finds Jordan Wallace. Wallace is stripped, and here comes Fort Valley the other way. Could they make it a 6-point game? Yes, they can. Count it up for Jalen McMillan. He's finding his stroke, and with 5:20 to go, Morehouse up 66-60, but momentum, Uncle Mo on the side of Fort Valley State right now. To the basket, Tyrese Walker. Oh, that's a hard one. And let's see. That was a hard but a decent foul because he did the pump fake. And when he pump faked, Jamal Guerra was committed to the air. And he had to come back down, but the Bill Harris Arena has gone silent here as Tyrese Walker lays on the ground. We'll take another look at the play here. See Walker, yep, Guerra was putting all of his effort into blocking that ball, but once Tyrese went for that head fake, and Guerra was playing catch up from behind, the force of his body came down. Now, Tyrese Walker has since stood up on his own. He's okay, I think. I do remember a game last year, he got knocked out of the game, a play similar to that, but it actually went beyond the basket, and Walker hit his head on the base of that stanchion that kind of holds up the support, and he wasn't able to return in that game, a game that they eventually lost. I think that was a quadruple overtime game against Benedict. So now I think there's a discussion if Walker has to leave the game. When you stay down on the ground for a certain length of time, you have to leave the game, and I think that's the case. So he's going to go. He can check back in, but he'll have to go to the bench. And Omar Alston is going to step up to the line to take his place to shoot free throws, and Walker immediately comes right back to the scorer's table, so he'll check in at the next opportunity. Just a 6-point lead for Morehouse. Make it still a 6-point lead for Morehouse as Omar Austin's free throw nearly dropped in. It flirted with the rim before popping back out. I'd like to thank all of our student interns this week. We've had kids from Miles and Clark Atlanta to help us out on the broadcast and help man the cameras. Kyra from Los Angeles found her way to Atlanta, and she's been a big help this week here at the SIAC Tournament. I know she can't hear me right now, but don't worry, I told her in person. Kyra, thanks for all of your help. She's been all over the place. And Morehouse is going to force a turnover here. Had a foul away from the ball, and that's going to go against Tyler Edwards and no, Walter Scott. Okay, that's what I thought. It was away from the ball. So Walter Scott picks up an off-the-ball foul, and that's his third personal, but at 4:44 to go, Fort Valley's going to have to leave all of their big men and people who can get it done out on the floor. Not worried about foul trouble at this point. Omar Austin in the corner to Olmert. Olmert drives, spins, shots blocked. Fight for the rebound. Morehouse comes up with it. Dunk attempt no good by Austin. Here comes Fort Valley on the attack. And offensive foul here. Jamal Guerra, you have to really say, you know, way to go with the passion and the hustle, but you really want to make a smarter play than that. There was 3 defenders back there waiting for him. And he just went in there with a full head of steam. Probably wants to pull that one back out if he gets another chance at that shot. And that's actually Guerra's 4th foul. So he's going to have to go to the bench for just a bit here. 4:16 to go. He'll get back in there, but you don't want him to pick up his 5th foul. I'm telling you, there's an opening. If your son says, Mom, I want to be a ball boy. I want to wipe up the court. Bring him on down here. The official might put a little extra on his time sheet for Oh, wow. And they're going to call Olmert with the push-off, which is, yeah, that's a play that you see all the time on the inbounds. You create a little separation, you push off, but Olmert gets called for the foul. Dennis Switzer, the sports information director for Benedict, is in the house. He's going to have a big afternoon and evening ahead, both of his teams in action, and you'll see that here on HBCU Game Day. Benedict, Central State, and a doubleheader. Both teams have identical seedings in their conference, so men and women will play the same schedule for both teams. Jalen McMillan with the drive to the bucket, and a foul against Morehouse. And that's on James Walker, his 3rd personal, and a chance to cut into the lead. McMillan, excellent 3-point shooter this afternoon, and gets that one to go from the free throw line, not the 3-point line, but the free throw line. McMillan now with 12 points on the afternoon. From behind the arc, he's 3 for 6 on 3-pointers, 4 of 8 from the field, picking up his 13th point, and Morehouse holding on to a 4-point lead at 66-62, 4 minutes to go. Could this run of chalk be upset with an upset here? Fort Valley State has kept this one interesting. And Kevius Adams is fired up on YouTube. She put FVSU with about 5 U's on the end of that thing. Tyrius Walker 4-3, and he gets it to go. Morehouse up now 69-62. And a foul away from the ball on that screen there. And that's going to go against Jalen McMillan. That's his 4th foul. So that's turnover. That's the under 4 timeout. Morehouse holding on to a 7-point lead. We'll come back and run it to the end. Will Morehouse advance on past the quarterfinals, or will Fort Valley find enough gumption to pull off the upset? This is the SIAC Basketball Tournament, and you're watching it on HBCU Game Day. Welcome back to Birmingham. 69-62 is your score. 3:29 to go in this one. Morehouse with the 7-point lead and the basketball. Fort Valley State has made a run but faltered on their last possession with the offensive foul going against Jalen McMillan. Morehouse with the ball now. They can push this back up to 10 if they get a 3-point shot. Going back door, Tyrius Walker in the corner. Jacobs, no. Rebound, Walker. And he dribbles back out, goes to Austin. Austin to Walker. James Walker, no. Foul on the court before the shot. So 3:02 remaining. James Walker is going to go to the free throw line. He's going to have a chance to push the lead up to 9. Fort Valley State trailing by 7 right now. They were in there. 3:02 remaining in the game. It's now a 70-62. Second free throw coming up for Walker. And it's good. So now a 9-point game, 3:02 remaining. Fort Valley with the basketball, trailing on the scoreboard. Down low, Foster, and Mr. Official told James Walker, you cannot use that thigh bone to serve as a wedge. I know that's a big guy, but you still have to guard him straight up. Foster, first free throw is good. Jordan Wallace checking back in for Morehouse. He's going to take the place of Tremel Gooden. Second free throw by Foster is good, so it's now a 71-64 game. Morehouse with the ball. Time slowly starting to become a factor here. Fort Valley State looking for a stop for sure. 18 seconds to go on the shot clock. Tyrius Walker surveying, kicks it out to Jordan Wallace. Thinks about a 3. McMillan guarding him close. Back to Tyrius, and he gets it to go. The high arcing shot from the right elbow. And that makes it a 73-64 ball game in favor of Morehouse. To the bucket. Score it. Tyler Edwards gets it to go, and he'll go to the line. Chance for a 3-point play. And James Walker is going to foul out of this ball game. He has 5 fouls and walks off in disgust. Only 4 points today. Missed all 3 of his field goal attempts. Anytime you score, have more fouls than points, that's not a good day as a basketball player, but they're going to need him as they continue on through this season. He's a very strong player and a good three-point shooter as well. He can really get hot for the Maroon Tigers. He's proven it during the regular season. Free throw up and good there by Fort Valley. Tyler Edwards cuts this lead down to 73-67, a 6-point game, 2:10 to go. A defensive stop would be really good here for Fort Valley State. Let's see what the Maroon Tigers are going to draw up. Jacobs over to Wallace. Wallace takes a peek at the shot clock, which is down to 5. Puts one up, no good. Rebound Foster. And Fort Valley State coming back the other way. Tyler Edwards along the right side. He might have pushed off. Nice. He pushed Tyrus Walker all the way back to the dressing room. But he got the layup to go, 73-69. Morehouse up by 4. Let's take a look at that play again. You be the judge. Was this a push-off? I'm going to say yes. That person that went flying out of the screen, that was Tyrus Walker. And I'm pretty sure that is not how Tyrus plays defense. He generally tries to stay in front of his man. Whoops. Was it an acting job by Tyrus? I don't know. Either way, it was 2 points. I'm here for the theatrics. And you see another driving bucket by Tyler Edwards. He is getting it done for Fort Valley State. Take a look at the stats. He has 18 points along with Foster, the 2 leading scorers for the Wildcats. Tyler Edwards, 6 of 11 from the field. Only 1 of 2 on 3-point attempts. Hit all 5 of his free throws.
Well, Tyler, I want to say he reminds me of Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. He has the Jimmy Butler hairdo, that's for sure. He's tall and a lot up there, a little floppy. The brother's floppy hair. Wallace open for a 3. No good. Fight for the rebound. It goes to Ulmert. Morehouse retains possession. They have a 4-point lead, 1:10 to go. And Ulmert at the top of the key. Under a minute, 73-69. Fort Valley, this might be the defensive stop of their season if they can get one. Jacobs from the corner is good. He is feeling it. Keyshawn Jacobs might have given Morehouse the insurance policy that they need. 3-pointer, no good. Fort Valley, fight for the rebound. And that's going to be a foul against J.R. Bryant. Jacobs with 12 points, all of them coming from the 3-point line. See him set up in that corner. Quick release, and he gets it to go. He lets his teammates on the bench know about it. They ain't ready. They ain't ready for me. Or something to that effect. I don't know what he said. The Morehouse flag is flying. It looks like they may be advancing on to the next round. Tyrus Walker, a rare miss there from the free throw line. As comfortable as you can be, just barely comfortable, I'll call it, with 40 seconds to go, leading 76-69. That's a 7-point lead. It's not unsurmountable. It is improbable. We're getting close to that territory. Tell you what, Toby, when this game is over, we might see if we can catch up with Jordan Wallace, number 32. I know Coach Grady Brewer is going to come over to the Morehouse broadcast over here, but Jordan Wallace, man, he had a game. He had a big stretch there where Tyrus had to go to the bench early, about the 18-minute mark, with that third foul. And then Jordan Wallace was able to step in there and hit some really big shots. misses the free throw here. So 77-71. Wallace with a chance to extend it to 78-71, and he does just that. So Wallace now with 22 points. 3 for 7 from the three-point line. 25 minutes of action, and he really hit some big shots. And overall, 9 of 15 from the floor. So 23 seconds to go. Fort Valley State needs a miracle. Are we in miracle territory? I don't know. They can foul here. They're down by 5. Morehouse missed some free throws. It's a 2-possession game. You can come back, hit a 3, down 2. I wouldn't say miracle. I wouldn't say miracle. They need something special to happen. I will call it that. I need something special to happen in way of a plate here after 2 games in. My intestinal fortitude is waning. On the inbounds, Fort Valley State full court pressure, and Jacobs gets behind the defense, and that was a jump ball. Foster says, I was going for the ball. But they met in the sky. And that advantage almost always goes to the offensive player. 4th foul on Foster. None of that really matters now. Just 23 seconds remaining in the ball game. I wouldn't want to put money on Keyshawn Jacobs coming up short of the free throw line. No one's a 100% shooter, but you've seen the damage he's been able to do from behind the three-point line. Shooting is what he does. Some perspiration on the floor. We're going to wipe it up here. See, they need to play that song. They need to play that Wipe Me Down song. That would be appropriate right now. Somebody tell DJ Savage over there, cue up the Wipe Me Down. Wipe me down. Wipe me down. I know our HBCU Game Day intern, DeLon Sellers, gets a kick out of me talking ignorantly about my knowledge of rap music. DeLon, I do it for you, dear. I do it for you. Oh, I said, I would not put money on Jacobs missing a free throw. He missed. So the window of opportunity remains open. Second free throw is good. So 79-73, still just a 2-possession game. Fort Valley State's coming up court. They're going to have to do something quickly. Not a lot of time to waste. Euro step finger roll to the hole. So Edwards gets the bucket. Now they're going to have to foul here. They foul Tyrius Walker, Jamal Guerra. I think that's going to be his 5th. That is 5th? Yep. So that's going to be all for Guerra. He's a senior, and that's going to be the way his collegiate career ends here. Unless we're in miracle status now, I think, unless something miraculous happens here in the last 14 seconds. Morehouse up by 4. Tyrius Walker, ice water in his veins, a chance to push it up to a 6-point lead. First one goes. He had to put a little English on that. He dipped down at the free throw line and willed it in, at least mentally, with a little wiggle here. Second free throw is good as well. So Morehouse is going to call a timeout. They're going to set up their defense and probably go over some very specific instructions. do not foul a three-point shooter. The last thing we want is a 4-point play, or God forbid, a guy to hit a three-point shot. You foul him, he goes to the free throw line, misses the free throw. They get the rebound, hit a three, which turns into a 6-point possession. So that could happen. And Fort Valley fans, that's pretty close to what you almost need to happen here, or either a really quick three, a foul, missed free throws, and then another quick three. But you're going to have to touch that ball twice on the offensive end, and you're going to need Morehouse to not even sniff another point here in the last 14 seconds. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here on HBCU Game Day all week long as we bring you live exclusive coverage of the 2018 SIAC Basketball Tournament. Oh, yeah, you can't do that. I don't know if you caught a good look at that. But Walter Foster set a screen. Look, Coach Jackson, don't fight this fight, man. He set a screen and threw a forearm shiver at the same time. And that was really unnecessary because your team still technically had a chance here. And Foster has had a couple of fouls off the ball here on the offensive end. And that one's going to do his team in. Or finish him off, I would say. So now it's going to be Morehouse basketball. Fort Valley State didn't even get a sniff at the basket there. They're going to immediately foul Jordan Wallace here, who will go to the free throw line with 9.9 remaining, and his team up 81-75. They're in the double bonus. I think Jordan Wallace will be able to find some success here at the free throw line if we go by the law of what he's been able to do throughout the regular season. Reagan Green letting us know that she loves her HB. Every time I say someone's going to do good at the free throw line, they make me out to be a person who doesn't tell the truth. Reagan Green still showing love for her HBCU online. We appreciate your engagement and support of the tournament and HBCU Game Day. Here in the final seconds, Fort Valley State, Jalen McMillan is no good, and that's going to be your final score, 82-75. Morehouse gets the win and advances. Toby Durham's going to see if we can get Jordan Wallace over here maybe. We'll see. We'll hold tight right here. Be curious to hear his thoughts on this game, the 82-75 win. Wallace led all scorers with 23 points, 9 for 15 from the field. And an 82-75 win. Morehouse advances on. Fort Valley State's season comes to a close, but they had a valiant effort in this year's tournament. They got the win over Miles a couple of days ago, and then they come in here and they really push Morehouse almost to the edge. And he's going to join us here. Jordan, thanks for joining us here on HBCU Game Day. That was a pretty tough one. What were your thoughts on that game? They really put a lot of pressure on you guys.
Yeah, they did. We just believed what the coaches told us and what my teammates told me. Had confidence in myself, confidence in my teammate. Played defense for 40 minutes. Came out with the win. It was tough. It was stressful. We ready for the next round now.
Tell me about that second half. So Tyrius, look, he's the heart and soul of you guys' team. He's the player of the year in the SIAC. He picked up that third foul early in the second half.
Yes, sir.
You really stepped up big. You finished with 23 points, 9 of 15 from the field, 3 three-pointers. What did you tell yourself you had to do when Tyrius went to the bench?
Well, Tyrius actually told me, he said I need to just be more aggressive and just block out everything in my head and just go because he needs us. So I know my team needed me, so I just did what I thought was right, and that was just a score. So that's all I did. It wasn't nothing special. I just wanted to help our team win.
How did it feel out there? You guys have had some time off. You didn't get down to Birmingham until yesterday. They had a chance to play a game. Did your legs feel normal? Did it feel like a regular season game, or did it take a little time for you to get back into your groove out there?
Well, we've been practicing really hard. Our coaches had us in pretty good shape. So after the first 2 minutes, I think we was good. After the first media timeout, we was good. So I feel like we're ready. We're trying to go in the championship. We're good.
All right. Jordan Wallace, congratulations on the win. Thank you for spending some time with HBCU Game Day. We'll see more of Jordan later in the week as Morehouse and the Maroon Tigers, they will fight another day to see who is going to be the king of the SIAC. We will see them again in a couple of days, and let's get ready to set the table for you for the rest of this afternoon. Central State and Benedict. Not once, but twice. So nice, you're going to see it twice. Ladies first, though, as that game is on the way, is set for a 5:30 Central Time tip-off. And then after that, the nightcap, you're going to get to see Brandon Morris once again, the #1 seed Central State out of the West will take on the 4th-seeded Benedict out of the East. And that's scheduled for a 7:45 Central Standard Time tip. Let me know where you can find it. Let me let you know where you can find it, right where you are, because where you're watching it right now is where we will be. So if you're on YouTube, we'll be there. We're going to end this stream in just a minute, and then we'll pick up our new stream. So I want to make sure that you continue to follow us. Same deal on Twitter. We'll come back to you in just a little bit on Twitter and Periscope, and always on Fire TV. And you can find links to all of the games coming up today on HBCUGameDay.com. So if you want to put this doubleheader in the queue and have it ready to go and not have to search for it as we get closer to game time, just go to HBCUGameDay.com. We're going to take a break for a few minutes, and then we will come back. I think we'll get Charles Ward. We'll put him back to work. Get him off that Morehouse broadcast. Bring him back over here to this HBCU Game Day. Back to the dark side, Toby. We're going to bring Charles back. So thanks for hanging out with us. Take a quick break. We'll be back in a few minutes with more action in that doubleheader, Central State and Benedict. You're watching the 2018 SIAC Tournament on HBCU Game Day.